welcome everybody, and thanks for joining. What is Beltane?
What
A
is
dis-
it?
yes, what is it? A conversation between TarotStache and the Cool Crone.
Yes. There we
I
go.
I actually started a playlist called Wheel of the Year because we've been doing these, and
Yeah.
if people want that, there's a link in the description, as well as a link to all of our channels. So, but
I'd be surprised if I hadn't also started one. I don't think I have. I'm surprised at myself.
I need to actually do some. I've done a whole bunch of stuff about the Wheel of the Year, including things with you, and I want to go back and make sure I get those in there. So
Yeah, you should. You should, because people
it'll
would
be
like
cool.
that. They're always asking me about it.
Yep,
Hi,
yep,
Sherry. Hi,
yep.
Marina. Hi, Pia's Electric Life.
So,
Hi.
um, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. This is information based on our experiences. We have similar yet different experiences celebrating Beltane,
We do.
and that's cool. So
Yeah.
it's very cool. Let's say hi to some of the here you go, some of the best chatters, the work lurkers, the best lurkers, the flying lurkers, and the future lurkers.
Hello, all of you.
Yeah,
Hello to
yeah.
all. Hello.
Colleen's like, Gerald, what the hell? So
That's okay.
that's all right.
At this point, I just roll with it.
Yes. So links are below. So everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Merita has put in links. Bora Bora is here. Um, Marina Heart Centered Tarot is here, who will be part of the special Caffeinated and Unfiltered show on Monday. So that I'm looking forward to that, with Jane the Secret Tarot joining us. And Lucky Heroine, Laura Hammond Davis, Sandy Johnson. Love it. Love it. Pia's Eclectic Life. Sherry, Wayne, Kat Evans. Love it. And Jules Learning to Listen. Kaylee is here. Kaylee's just popping in for a bit before her hair and makeup. Kaylee's birthday was yesterday.
Happy solar return.
Yes. And Spirits Beyond the Stars. Hello.
Oh, I love that name.
Yes. So many great people here. This is wonderful. And if I've missed you, my apologies. So Amanda Carroll, Joyful Journey, Kristen Louise. It's great. Saint Devaria, D, Saint D, Janet DC. So, Colleen.
Yes.
What is Beltane?
Hell if I know. No, I'm kidding. Well, Beltane, the name Beltane really refers to the fires that they used to light.
Yes.
At this time of year for various reasons, not the least of which was to remove fleas from their livestock. But it was also a symbolic of being purified in some way, which is odd because there's so much sex wrapped up in Beltane.
Yes.
So clearly they did not see sex as some sort of shameful, dirty thing. They saw it as a part of the purification that they were going through.
Yes.
So it occurred at the beginning of May, and a lot of people celebrated on May 1st, and it kind of morphed into May Day, where they leave the flowers on the doorknobs for everybody. Yep. And I don't know what they used to do in olden times, and I don't even know if I buy that they really had these celebrations in really, really olden times. I think a little bit of this is kind of made up by Gerald Gardner and Aleister Crowley and Alexander, whatever his first name was. But I think that we we need to celebrate the Wheel of the Year, and Beltane is, a great celebration. But that maypole, the traditional colors for the maypole are white and red.
Yes.
And the red is not the blood you get when you cut your arm. It's the other kind of blood.
Yes.
So
So let's put this in the Wheel of the Year. Behind me, I have a Wheel of the Year.
just gorgeous, that Wheel of the Year. My
Thank you.
gosh.
Beltane is right here. We just passed Ostara, which was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Yule up there. So Beltane is right here. If you need a different chart, it's like this. This is where Beltane is in the Northern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
And Beltane is, so it's a cross-quarter holiday.
Right.
It's the opposite of Samhain, where in Samhain we talk about that the veil is thin, and we can honor we can honor those who have come before us.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's about honoring the past. Beltane is all about looking toward the future.
Yes.
So
Very
it's
much.
yeah, and I'm so glad you mentioned it is a fire festival.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
this is because let's, like you said, let's clean up. Let's
Well,
make
and doesn't the word Beltane actually mean like sacred fire?
um
It doesn't exact. Let me Google it while you talk, because it
well,
means something to
actually
do with fire, doesn't it?
it does. And I'm looking at my notes, and because it did have relationship to Belanos.
Yeah, the fires of Bel. That's what it
Yep,
means.
yep, god of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it is this is where we're really moving into summer,
Yes.
because this
Yeah.
is when, this is when we, okay, there's an interesting thing. It's the last spring festival, or it's the first summer festival, which is basically saying the same thing.
Yeah. But
So
it's also for most people in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the very, very, very beginning of planting season.
that's exactly right, which is why I am wearing the coveralls,
Yeah. Yeah. I get
because this is that time, because there is that what is it, there's the tradition of like somebody who is riding their broom across the fields. Oftentimes they would burn the fields to clear them out, and so you have someone who is riding around them, who is doing fertility rituals,
Mm-hmm.
and celebrating that. And so it is one of those things that it's so that fertility. This is a very fertile time of the year.
Yeah, they were really celebrating sex a great deal, and they
Oh
were
yes,
celebrating, fecundity in all its forms, whether it was of the
yep,
earth or of a woman or a deer or a
yep,
cow. They wanted all of those parties to procreate, and in many cases, a lot of them had already procreated because they'd been in the house for a long time or been in
sure,
the shelter for a long time, and a lot of those animals had already, you know they did also call it, it was also a celebration, I think, of the baby animals that had been born, like the ewes had been born,
uh-huh.
and also celebrating the fact that they were alive, because
Yeah, they
not
made it
all
through
of
the
them would live.
winter. Yeah,
Right, right. But
yeah,
the babies being birthed, that's, I think, seen by agricultural societies as a really dangerous act. The mother could die, the babies could die. We just
absolutely.
didn't all know. So they were celebrating the fact that the ewes made it through the birthing process. And so, oh yeah, it's a bonus that we get baby birds and baby rabbits and chicks and all of that stuff.
Hmm.
But boy, if we don't have those ewes and calves, we're screwed. We
We're we are definitely in trouble.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely in
we're in
trouble.
trouble. So that was a
Yeah.
big thing too. And so going along with that whole idea of the fertility, they're celebrating everything that goes around fertility, including
Uh-huh.
sex. I mean,
Absolutely.
this was a celebration where couples ran off into the wood and did the deed. That was a part of it.
And it was considered, if a child was conceived at Beltane, that is a sacred child. It is a privileged child, so to speak.
Yeah, and
So,
I routinely saved the ashes of the Beltane fires that we had because we did have women in our coven, young women who they needed a little help. And
mhm,
I am proud to say that a couple of my ash ash concoctions did help somebody get pregnant.
yes,
So,
that's
or
beautiful.
in one case, uh, the couple was going through fertility treatments, and it
Mhm,
helped it to take.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking. So it is about. I mean, because we're fully into the light and the
Yes.
season of warmth, where
Mhm.
we're supposedly we're not having frosts and things like that. So we want to plant because in just a couple of turns of the sun, we start doing the first harvest.
Yes.
So we've got to make sure that this stuff takes. So there's a lot of celebration. These are parties, they're fires, and a lot of times the fire rituals um, let people know that we didn't contact a lot, that we were okay in our
Yeah.
village.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
That's right. That's right.
so it's
Yeah.
extremely powerful.
Yeah,
Um,
really powerful. And I think that I'm trying to think because you traditionally you would drink honey mead for Beltane.
yep.
But when the heck did you make it? That must have been last year's honey mead because I
Yeah.
haven't seen much of a bee this year. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't have had the honey to make it this year. You would have
Hmm.
been drinking up what's good from last year. And I think the foods for Beltane too, because they are so closely linked to livestock. So some of the foods are going to be heavier. You're going to have real meat and they haven't grown a heck of a lot of stuff. So they're eating either the quick growing first up vegetables or stuff that's left over from
Yeah. They're
last year.
they're finishing up the oats and all of that stuff. There's Beltane cake, something along those lines, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you were lucky to have sprouts, great. You could have
Yeah,
something green.
yeah,
Well, and then people you can do dandelions, dandelion salad.
yeah,
So it's very true. So
yeah.
it's one of those things, with the idea of Beltane being about fertility.
Hmm.
It's not just about for living things, but it's also about like for self-discovery. If you want to, it's like, okay,
Sure.
what are the things that I'm planting, and I planted, and how do I nurture those, because those are extremely important. And a lot of people will get married this time of the year.
Yes. Yeah.
So actually, I think Letha is a little bit better to get married
Yeah.
on, but you know and
Well, yeah, I think though the marriages around Beltane, the sun is in Taurus, so it's more stable,
mm, hmm,
and it's of the earth, so it's more
yeah,
fruitful.
hmm,
With the marriages in late June, you're getting a Cancer marriage, and it's moody, it's a little more tumultuous, but that
uh-huh.
might make it better for making babies. So who knows? Yeah,
True, true,
you know how
true.
people are. they
Yeah, I
they
do
love
want to.
they love the drama.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, and I want to say hello to everybody who is joining us to our conversation about what is Beltane. Links are below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Um, and so some of the things that I think about with Beltane, because I've got all of these weird notes here. This is a time of celebration. So when it comes time for celebration, there is a lot of drinking, there is a lot of eating, there's a lot of staying up late.
Hmm.
This is the sort of thing. So yeah, Diana's like on tribal dancers. Beltane is nigh. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
someone I think Marut let's see. It says, uh, oh, don't knock over my drink, Kitty. It says internet says Beltane is a Gaelic holiday. It's a Celtic holiday. They always mess that up. It's
Yeah.
not just the Gauls. It's not just Gaelic. It's Celtic. And the Celtic nations were not just in Ireland. The Celtic nations were they weren't all over Europe, but they were throughout Europe. Like there were
Hmm.
parts of Spain, Iberia, which is Celtic. There's a big, huge part of the areas of Germany and Austria that were all Celtic.
Yeah.
You can see it in the similarities with Celtic knotwork in Ireland and the old knotwork, and even the Scandinavian and Viking knotwork that was done in the day. So
Yes.
it isn't just Gaelic.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that. And I know the internet loves to say that they're skimming the surface. They're not
Yes.
really looking at the deep stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
I
that's why
would.
I'm here.
Yeah. I would also expect, if we look at most of the cultures around the world, this time of the year, there's going to be some celebrations that are remarkably similar.
Oh, sure. Because,
So,
well, people have been, I mean, they've done something for the solstice, right? Or I mean the
yes.
equinox. They've done something for the vernal equinox because that's a phenomenon that you could measure
Hmm.
and you could see. You might not see it as dramatically if you were way close to the equator or way up in the northern latitudes like Scandinavia and stuff.
True.
But the rest of the northern hemisphere, you could really tell when those things were happening. It was demonstrable, it was measurable.
Hmm.
But Beltane also, you could feel the weather change. I mean,
Yes.
at Ostara, at the vernal equinox, the weather is still cool, but you do see little things coming up in the ground. But Beltane, it's there. Like today, for the first time today, we broke into the 70s and not just like
Yes.
71 or 72. It's like upper 70s
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, God, where's the guy hooking up the air conditioner? You know,
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's true. And that's when, that's one of the important things about paying attention to the wheel of the year. What are you noticing? What plants are growing? What's the sun doing? It's that time when you can actually, you don't feel that nip in the air
mm-mm.
when you see those beautiful flowers that are there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I think it's really very important.
yeah,
You had mentioned May Day. What is it? Is it in Camelot, the song, The Lusty Month of May?
yeah. The lusty month of May, exactly, because Beltane is about lust, and there's some of the traditions with Beltane rituals included playing games where they flipped the roles so that
Yeah.
the female was chasing the male, and sometimes they would dress up in costumes, and this is hilarious. The female could be just a female, right? Or she might dress up a little younger than she really is. And
Hmm.
she's chasing the man. The man would be dressed literally as, ready for it, a cock.
Nice. And on that note, sip, sip, everybody.
Yeah, there we go.
Hmm. My. So, well, and also, energetically, it's a very fey energy.
Oh, yes.
Fairies are coming out, and it is one of those things that if you work with fairies, do so cautiously, and the fae.
Yep.
Oh, Colleen, I forgot to put my crown on.
I know. I was doing this backstage, but I
Oh,
didn't
crap!
really
I'm
pick up.
sorry.
That's okay.
Oh well. So,
You look
and
much better now.
thank you. I feel appropriate now.
There you go.
But that Fey energy, and so what is it? A Midsummer Night's Dream,
Yes.
where that's the start of all of this, and
Hmm.
so that's when things out in the garden might go a little crazy because everybody's out and stretching and having a really good time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I think fairy energy is more easily perceived when we're outside. And I
yes.
think that's so I know I've read for both Letha and Beltane that, well, that's when the fairies come out. The fairies come out the fairies are there all the time.
Yes.
You're not seeing or feeling or talking to the fairies until it's warm out because you're not outside. But once you're outside, then you can see that there's fairy action happening if you're inviting it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have Needle Arts Babe Suzanne Rich said, we'll be doing a blessing over the seeds for our veg and
Nice.
flower gardens during our Beltane celebration this week.
Nice.
That's beautiful. And I do want to Twisted Sushi. My reading for baby girl when I was pregnant said I'd be bringing her home when the flowers bloom. And we were discharged and have been relaxing the weekend, then heading home in the morning. That is beautiful.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
is so nice.
I
That's
love that.
really, really
I love that.
nice.
And
Right.
by the way, it's a great idea to honor and celebrate anything that you're planting before you do it.
Mhm.
It's really really great,
Right. And
really wonderful.
even if you can't get the whole planting straight from seeds going on, you can still clean up your garden, get kind of
Yes.
the garbage out of there, and you can plant, not yet. It's a little early yet, but once like mid-May has passed, you can plant like short plants, small plants and let them
Mhm.
grow up.
Yes.
I think in where I'm living, it might not be quite ready because this is an odd day that it got this warm today. It might, cool
Yeah.
off for the next few days,
Yeah.
but you know, but then it's always
Exactly.
odd where I am.
Exactly. So I would. I mean, this is one of those things. There's lots of little. I mean, you could search the internet and find out all of the things that all of the different things that you can do for this. I think one of the cool things is when you have flowers like this, a lot of times people would make flower crowns,
Hmm.
and we've made a couple of the royal we Jeffrey and I have made flower crowns. They have long ribbons in the back,
Yeah.
and we dry them out, and they celebrate, and so they
Nice.
remind us of this. So it's
That's
great.
nice.
It's wonderful.
One of the first Beltanes that we had at my house, the person who was the acting as high priestess for the ritual, had a son-in-law who was quite handy. And for Ostara, she had him build a well so we could have the blessings of breed. And for Beltane, she had him build a maypole for my backyard.
Hmm.
So we had that maypole for God a long time, at least gonna say at least 5 years, maybe as much as 10. And we just kept
Wow.
using it. We took it down. We'd take it down and put it in the basement, and then we started taking it down, just putting it in the shed in the backyard. But finally, all the bottom wood kind of got rotted. But what fun that was! First of all, we had to learn how to do the dance to weave the ribbons around it, right? Because you don't just give everybody a ribbon and have them march around, or you just get a big mess with the ribbons.
Hmm.
There's an actual dance to it so that when
Yep.
you get done, the ribbons are plaited around the pole and they go all the way down. And
Yes.
we did them in different colors, but like I said, the traditional colors are white and red, and it's a little gruesome, but yeah, a lot of things about Wicca is coming back to the real earth, your real body, the real things.
Hmm.
It isn't Lisa Frank, it isn't all
Yeah.
neon pink and blue and unicorns.
Yeah.
That just isn't what it's about. But I enjoyed having that Beltane pole, and it was always a challenge getting the little flower garland up on the top, but we managed. We got it
Yes.
up there every year.
So I'm pulling out my notes because I remember reading this. The colors of the red were for the sun god, and
Hmm.
the white was the virgin goddess.
No, that's
As,
so nice. Yes.
as yes, and so here's the and then there's also white for the maiden, or red for the mother. So because this is the
Mm.
time when we move into that, babies conceived at Beltane are born around Imbolc. So think about that. And so in many of their traditions, or my tradition, Beltane really starts the time of the year that is truly focused on the goddess,
Mm-hmm.
and where the darker time of the year is focuses on the god. So
Hmm.
that takes us, the god takes a step back, and well, if you wanna be fertile, it's the goddess. So
Yep. You got to go do it. Got to go
you,
play in the woods.
yes, yeah, you got to go play in the woods.
You got to go play in the woods.
You got to go play in the woods.
You got
Yes.
to.
So, but yeah. So, there's beautiful comments in the chat. I've missed a lot of them. So I
Take a
think,
look.
yeah. I mean, this is so great. Um, are there particular? Okay, we did have a question. I did see. By the way, Karen Brown is the one of the new members for Colleen, and Pia's Eclectic Life. Gerald and Colleen, do you do something special for your altar for Beltane?
I have altars all around my house. And so as things kind of come to me, I will add them to the altar for that time of year. But I have to confess, I don't like change everything up. I don't like, it's not like putting up Christmas decorations for me. It's like the
Yeah,
altar is the altar. And
yeah,
I might put, like, if I find a nice flower or something that I want to put on my altar, a seed, a nut, a feather, um, maybe change the candles, but I don't do super special things. And again, I have altars all over my house. I have an altar behind me. I mean,
yeah.
I
Yes,
have
another
altars
altar over
everywhere.
there. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
One thing that I like to do is I actually like flowers on the altar for this. I do like red and white flowers. So those are great. I also am paying attention to. I like bloodstone this time of the year
Oh yeah.
um, be, because of the blood color. It's also green. So I want that. I want those spring colors,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where I'm their colors work year round. Pastels were Ostara. You know,
Yes.
pastels were here.
Yeah.
This is when we're starting to get richer colors, whereas we get the full hardcore jewel tones in the summer at the
Mm-hmm.
summer solstice. So,
Oh
and
wow. I'm just
yeah,
reading some of these things, Gerald. People already have things blooming and coming up.
I
I'm
love
so
that.
jealous. Oh,
Yes,
wow, that's great.
yeah, blooming. And Suzanne said, since we're solitary Wiccan coven, when we lived in Connecticut, we would attend some public holiday circles. Now that we're in Vermont, that's something we miss. Yes,
Oh, there's no witches in Vermont?
apparently just the two of them.
Oh, that's a bummer. God, I didn't know they were still burning witches. Phew. Okay.
Oh
Uh,
man!
ouch. That's
Wow.
awful. Sorry. Sorry, I had to go there.
There you go. There
So,
you go. Um, so yeah. So I think this is I love that idea of this is looking forward, having a good time with that. Procreating is fun. Listen to me. Procreating is fun because that's what's going on.
yeah,
Pay attention.
that is what's going on.
So and Lorraine said, am I the only one in our community who absolutely loves nature and absolutely hates summer weather, hate the heat, and no fan of bugs or snakes either?
No, I'm
So,
with you. I'm with you.
yeah.
I love nature. And so does my cat, apparently. She's agreeing with you.
Yes.
She just
Yes.
wants me to scratch her head. Let's
There
face
you
it.
go. At these celebrations, you would bring appropriate food for stuff like this. We were talking about, of course, there's wine, there's Beltane punch, and mead, definitely. And
Yeah.
yeah, we have a friend of ours gave us some mead. Was it peach mead, Jeffrey? It's really tasty, and maybe I'll share it, maybe I won't. So, um, but you had something you wanted to share what you did to
Yes.
celebrate Beltane, and I'm looking forward to this. So,
So 1 year, well, 1 year, it was 2015 in our coven that we had a pretty good sized coven, and we had so many people who needed to be given the assignment of being high priestess for a ritual. There's only 8 in the year, right? So we said, well, we could share them. We could have 2 people do each ritual. And then we realized we were still coming up short for one person. So I said, well, we can do 3 for ours. We'll just have
mhm,
3 people.
yeah,
And it turned out it was Beltane. And so me and 2 other women did Beltane, and we decided that we would represent the triple goddess. One of us would be the maiden, one the mother, one the crone. And somehow I talked them into doing it with Hindu goddesses, because I
nice.
was crazy about that stuff. And they, to my surprise and shock, said, "Oh, I love that idea." And before you know it, we were ordering saris and wrapping each other up and researching goddesses. So me, in my typical way, I got a little carried away with the whole thing. And of course, I wanted the whole group to really know all of the stuff that we had researched and everything that we'd found
Yeah,
out. So the basic thing that we did is we had a little play within the ritual that was telling the story of Kali Ma, and also of Parvati and Shiva, and Hanuman. And it was really fun, and everybody had a role to play, and we drafted in a few people to play some of the parts. And in the big war with Kali Ma, we used stuffed animals to be killed. So as Kali Ma was, throwing her sword around, somebody was behind her throwing out stuffed animals, as if they were dead. So it was a lot of fun. It was a very Beltane feel. It was very frolicky, very playful, very yada yada yada. And I just want to show you. I did. I'm way overachiever here. I did. You know
that's
how
why we love you.
when you have a recital, or even a funeral, sometimes they have a little program, right?
Oh,
This
yes.
was my mindset, is I'm going to make a program for Beltane. Now what you're going to see is the whole layout that you use to print the program. So you're going to see the back page and the front page all together. But let me just adjust the size of this a little bit so you can see the whole thing.
Merita asked, Colleen, do you have the Lakshmi Oracle? It's a deck of Hindu deities.
I should. I do have a deck of cards that are the Bhagavad Gita.
Mm,
So I do have that, but I should get the Lakshmi Oracle. Lakshmi is in our temple, so she's definitely one of our extra patron deities. Okay, so here is the first and the last page of the um, program.
wow.
So this was for Beltane 2015. Here we have,
Hmm.
this is uh this is, I think, Durga sitting on the throne.
Uh-huh.
She has her lion in front of her and her 8 arms, and she has all of her weapons. And I was Durga. I was the mother Durga.
Hmm.
And then these are different deities that help her out. And then here's the guy she's killing down here. Can
Yeah.
you see that when I do that? You can see a little tiny
Yes.
bit.
See a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
All right. And then this is Kali Ma on the back, and we gave her a little chant, and I made everybody say it in the ritual.
Nice. Yes. Yes.
Of course,
Yeah.
I torture people with this stuff. It's just great. And then here's, page 2, and then the second to the last page, Krishna, Master of Light. He was a big feature because the temple that I went to was a Krishna temple. So, I couldn't leave him out. And this just talked about other masters of light to try to bring it back to more of a more mainstream stream kind of celebration. I didn't want to completely alienate people.
Uh-huh.
And this was very female oriented. This says, if you can't read it, it says, one day she remembered that the only person who could make her happy was herself. So she took back her power, reclaimed her place in the world, and shined like never before. It's by Anna Taylor.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. And then this was the kind of the agenda or the order of things. The empowerment of women was what we were really going for. And because we were going for that so strongly, I felt it was important to understand the male gods in relation to the female goddesses, and
Wow.
to really balance that and not have it just be, oh, we're going to destroy the men. No, Shiva's the destroyer. Parvati was his partner, and she was the one who allowed him to go out and do what he needed to do, and then to help him, recover and nurture
Yeah.
himself. So we had Shiva the destroyer, and then we had just a little page about Hindu concepts so they could understand what was going on. And Kali Ma played the part of the crone, and my friend Michelle did a very good job doing that. She's a teeny tiny little lady. I don't even know if she's over 5 feet tall, but she made a hell of a Kali Ma. Kali is one of her deities. And so she was really thrilled to be able to do that. She was like, oh, this is great. All my Kali stuff, I can bring it out and wear it and use it. Like, yes, you can finally wear that necklace of skulls that you've been dragging around.
There you go. Yes.
So that was that. That was really fun. And then we used George Harrison's song "All Things Must Pass" because, of course, it does. And then here is a picture. This is a very famous picture of Shiva. This is him literally contemplating the world and bringing it into being. I love that picture. And you have to understand that as a child, my brother sent me a lot of posters of these kind of style of
Nice.
art from all the Hindu deities, and these kind of pictures were all over my bedroom walls when I was growing up. I just absolutely loved it. And then here's Durga, which was me. And there's another George Harrison song awaiting on you all. It was really fun. So this just told the story of Durga. And then we explained the triple goddess, that actually Mother Durga is a triple goddess. But in her story, she's tied in with Parvati, who is typically portrayed as a maiden, and Kali, who is typically portrayed as a crone. Kali actually is a person who has evolved out of one of the other goddesses, but that's a whole other story that I'm sure I can't tell all the details of. Here's another song that I used by Madonna, where she used the actual um, Hindi chant in the song. So that was another one that I played. And I did not make everybody sing this one. I just said you can just listen to herself sing.
There you go. Yeah.
So well. And then we talked about female divinity. And then here's the story of Parvati, who is a partner, or as they refer to her, as the consort of Shiva. And Ganesh became their child when Shiva accidentally kills their child by cutting off his head. And when Parvati gets a hold of him and says, you just killed our kid, thanks a lot, he went and he found a being as close as he could find to a human, and it was an elephant. And he asked the elephant's permission if he could use the elephant's head to be on his child so that his child could live. And that's when you get Ganesh.
Yeah.
So this is Ganesha. And then we have here's the triple goddess again. And of course, we had to do the My Sweet Lord with the Hare Krishna chant on it. And then here's the happy family again. And here's the real Hindu Trinity, which is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And Vishnu is also known as Krishna. But this was one of the pictures I had on my bedroom wall. I just love that photograph or that picture.
That's great.
And that's the end of the program. So I did this for a couple of different rituals. I think I did it an Egyptian one for Lammas. So maybe I can do that up for Lammas. I don't know. But anyway, it was really I was very happy to share that because I put a lot of work into it.
Oh, well, and it's getting a lot of love. It's just like it's like, wow, that's a full celebration.
Oh yeah.
And it's a huge undertaking. Yeah. And and it is one of those things that when you go into a celebration, the depth of understanding that someone has and puts into the celebration comes through in the program, in the songs, in the dances, in the food, in the I was going to say spells, but the words that are said, the chants that are done. It's really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. This one, because, you're supposed to do,
I spy with my little eye another overachiever.
yeah, yeah, kind of. Um, I think we did a meditation for this. I think I had a meditation for Beltane with this one, but we also had a very rollicking activity with that play. And people, we just had so much fun. It was just everybody, it did really raise the energy because initially people are picking up the stuffed animals like, oh, they're going to get dirty, and we're like, they're dead. It's okay, they're dead.
Yeah.
And we passed out. We got weapons at like Party City for Halloween costume weapons, so they wouldn't hurt anybody. And we passed those out for people, and we're like, kill some more, kill kill all that. And we had people standing behind Michelle as Kali to have extra arms,
Oh, that's great.
so that they could also kill the weapons. And Lisa was the other person. She was Parvati, and her boyfriend was this big strapping guy. So he played Shiva, bare chested and all. It was great. I wanted to paint him blue, but he drew the line at that one.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I would have loved the blue, but
Yeah.
it was just a really, really fun ritual, and it really got the spirit of Beltane going with all the stuff. I'm sorry, my crown is just so crooked, and I cannot keep it straight. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
There we go. There, I got it down on my head a little bit.
It's good. Well, and I want to, people are loving this, and Davaria was like, and this is so interesting. I'm learning something new. Well, that's one of the reasons that we do this, because we like to share information, and people in the chat are doing such a wonderful job of sharing things that they have done too. So yeah, it's great. It sounds fabulous. So
yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And we did serve all Indian food, which some people really didn't like. And I was like, just try it. Just try it. It's okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, where's the meat and potatoes? And I said, well, first of all, in my ritual, you're not going to get any meat. Sorry. Right. That's just not happening. So you shouldn't have come if you wanted a hamburger, because that's not going to be there.
Yes. And, and this is true. There's so many different ways to celebrate. And I think it's wonderful.
I was very blessed to, and I still am, to be in a coven that embraces all the different pantheons that I bring up. Like nothing's off limits. We've had people do Japanese goddesses, the Norse goddesses, the German. Like there's a difference between Viking and German. So we've had different ones of those. Done Mexican, we've done Santeria, we've done Oshun, we've done, all over the place, including, the Celtic goddesses and the Romans and the Greeks and, everything in between. And every time you do that, you open up your mind to, what is the common thread here? The common thread is that the whole damn planet does this. The whole planet observes that the moon goes around us and we go around the sun, and that makes things change.
Yes.
The whole planet. And I love that, because when you come down to people feeling like, well, they didn't do it right, or they didn't do it like I did it. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Does it please you? Does it make you happy? Does it raise your vibration? Okay, then we've achieved something. That's all you need. That's all you need to do. You need to be happy about it.
Yeah. We do have a question. And by the way, if you have a question about the Sabbat Beltane, posted in caps, Teacher Barbara said, do you say happy Beltane or blessings for Beltane?
Sure. Yes. All of that. Of course.
Good. Blessed Beltane. Happy May Day. I think it's a beautiful intent of when you're wishing somebody, a great celebration, have a beautiful celebration, transformative celebration, doesn't matter. But blessed Beltane, happy Beltane, it all works.
It all
So,
works. Absolutely.
so, and yeah, May Day is definitely universal. Spring blooms eternal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. One of the things that I have notes written from um, April 15th of 2015, when I took a class about Beltane, and one of the things that it says, it's like um, plans should have been laid out at Ostara, and now you're putting energy behind those plans. You're actually putting the shovel into the soil.
Yep.
And this is the intersection of action and a transformation.
Nice.
So think
Very,
about that. Think
very
about that.
nice. Yeah.
So um and so that I love that, because a lot of times we don't think about things enough sometimes.
No, we're haphazard and random about everything, and we just kind of wait to like, oh, I'm just going to show up and then I'll do something.
Yeah.
Well, then the results of what you do may turn out to reflect the lack of planning. And you may be disappointed in it. You may feel like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Well, could have been a really nice deal.
Yes.
Little
Yeah.
planning. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Diana said, yep. And Mars goes into Aries. His
Yes.
natural home, time for action.
That's right. That's right. I just did my May astrology video today. Well, I did a really short one just for the first half of May, and it turned out it's not even 5 minutes long because it's just a nice month and there's not that much going on.
Yeah.
But I did do a new moon in Taurus video with I'm doing predictions for everybody. I'm breaking it up.
Oh.
I'll do all the fire signs, all the earth signs, all the water signs, all the air signs. So there'll be 5 videos up for May before you can say Bob's your uncle.
I love that. Well, and everybody knows that because they're already subscribed to Colleen, the Cool Crone.
Yeah, of course.
There they are. So,
There we
and
go.
and I think this is one of those things. This is a celebration. It's go out there, have a dang good time. So being silly, acting, making maypoles,
Yep.
dancing around. It's like, oh yeah, because we, at Ostara, listen to me, well, you don't know because I haven't told you. At Ostara, we celebrate the return of the light and the balance, and then we go back inside because it's still cold.
Yeah, that's right. We do.
So, yeah. April was a head spinning month.
April was just a you know what, and I'm so glad that it's almost done. We still have a couple days, but then we're on to May.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did raise the frequency. Love your attitude.
Yeah. Thanks.
So
Thanks.
and it okay. So I did Colleen does not know that I put this up there. What are some activities that celebrate Beltane? Because what are some activities that people could do today that celebrate Beltane?
Well, you could, as one viewer already pointed out, bless your seeds that you're getting ready to put in the ground.
Yep.
And even if you just went to the store and bought a little packet of wildflower seeds, just put that packet somewhere, your altar if you have one. Put your hands over it like this, and just think to yourself how beautiful it's going to be when those flowers come up, and tell yourself that you're going to take every action that you can take to make that happen.
Yep.
And that's it. I mean, the birds are going to eat a few. It's only fair. You're putting it in their ground. So, but a lot of them will come up. That's all you got to do. That's one thing you can do.
Yeah. I mean, planting flowers, there was somebody who was talking about daisy chains. You could make flower crowns. They're not hard. You just need, if you have florist wire or just some ribbons, you can do that.
Or you can even buy those little round things at a hobby store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't want to promote Hobby Lobby, but you can get them there. Joann's is another place you can get them. You can get the smaller ringlets, and you can just stick the flowers, even silk flowers or even plastic flowers. You can just cut them
Yep.
off and stick the stems in there. And
Hmm.
sometimes you don't even need a glue gun or anything to fasten them in there. They just
True.
stick into the thing. And then you kind of want to shape that ringlet so that it really fits on your head, and then
Hmm.
just put it on your head.
Absolutely.
I love ribbons down the back. A lot of my
Yes.
garlands have ribbons down the back. I really love that.
Because we want to remember the flow, and I mean, it's okay. I'm an adult, and sometimes I do like to wear ribbons down my, the back of my head because I want to sashay.
Yeah,
It's like,
sometimes you do. You really, yeah,
yes,
that's
yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's great.
Grounding to keep your head from flying off. You can ground, and sometimes grounding means getting into your physical body in the most primal way.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
and teacher Barbara said my class is going on a field trip to the zoo tomorrow.
Okay. Nice.
And yes, you could definitely plant flowers.
Yeah, definitely. Or just buy yourself flowers, or just buy
I
yourself
agree.
a new plant. Like I love African violets. They're easy. You can ignore them for weeks at a time and they won't die. And and if I'm good and I get them enough sunlight, they bloom. And I'm always
Absolutely.
just astounded when they bloom. I'm always like, they love me. They're blooming.
Yes. Um, Tortoiseshell Moon Kathy said at Beltane, I pull tarot cards to sow seeds in my soul garden to harvest in Maybon. Last year's crop was centered around boundaries.
Beautiful.
That's some power, people.
That is very cool.
Yes.
Very
Lorraine Orr asked if anybody has contact info for the Sanderson sisters. 14-year-old neighbor would make a marvelous addition to their Beltane activities
and
and
sacrifices.
sacrifices. Yeah, okay. Um, Suzanne said we have each of celebration ritual set in our books of shadows, but then add what we want at the time. I if it doesn't grow and evolve, I don't really want to have anything to do with it. If I'm doing
Yeah.
the same ritual for the last 5 years, that's just far too much.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I like about what our coven does is that it's always somebody new who's doing the ritual, and so it's
Mhm.
always going to be different, even though it's the same Sabbat or whatever. And you know, I've seen lots of different kinds of Beltanes. Mine was just the weird off the wall Hindu one, but most people will stick a little closer to the Celtic pantheon, and because for right now, we have people who are very, very Celtic. Only a few of them even have any Egyptian gods or goddesses.
Hmm.
And so but the things that they're coming up with are very personal. They're writing beautiful meditations, and
Yeah.
they're really bringing their own energy to it. It's really cool because when I hear kind of, oh, they're bringing in, Maeve or whoever they're bringing in, I'm like, oh, okay, ho hum, all right. But then they do a great ritual, so
Yeah.
it's really nice.
I personally I value that diversity.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really
Yeah.
cool.
And that diversity, actually, the diversity is great for this time of the year too.
Yes, that's right. It really
Yeah.
is. It really
Yes.
is.
Jamie plants wildflowers. They reseed themselves.
Yes, very true. Very nice.
Teacher Barbara, if you want to have something for the kids to do, making flowers would be great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And Latvians just use thread to tie the flower crowns.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Can do that.
Yep. Moss, dried flowers, beads. Yes, so fun. You gotta have fun with this.
You do. You
You
do.
gotta. I mean, and if you have a fire pit that where you can safely burn something outside, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
really good. We do. We use a fire bowl.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, Mickey plants by the moon cycles as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I remember one year I just found myself with a lot of different like little ribbons pieces that for some reason I just had a whole lot of these little ribbon pieces. and somebody had done a ritual and left at the house just a little like scattering of all these different charms that she had used in her spell. So I took the ribbon and the charms and I went out. I had a little lilac tree that has since passed away. Rest in peace, lilac
Mm.
tree. But I tied with the ribbons, I tied the charms to the branches. And all summer it was just fun, seeing the ribbons blow and a little tinkle now and again from the charms hitting each other. And it was just kind of my little altar in the front yard. It was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Plucky said this year I planted sweet peas from
Mhm.
seed for the first time ever, and they are blooming.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
I
That
love
is
that.
great. I love sweet peas too. They're so sweet. They're
I
so
love that. I love that. So I think it's one of those things that as we play with this, what's going to make you feel alive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it. Do
Just
it.
do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Hi, Ange. Good to see you. Beltane greetings. So hi, Jonathan. So, um, anything else you want to share about Beltane for everyone?
Let me see. Well, I think if you're not able to get with a group of people to celebrate Beltane, then you can certainly look. I mean, you can always look online. People have, videos and stuff that they share, and that's all well and good. But it's your choice of what you want to do, and do something like you were saying that makes you feel good. Belton is a playful, frolicking Sabbath. It's not super serious. It's all
Mhm.
about let's not be serious. Let's have fun. Let's raise the vibration. Let's do
Absolutely.
something good for the earth and ourselves. I mean, oh, Teacher Barbara, you could have your kids go and clean up something close to the school. If there's
Oh.
litter or something, you could have them pick
Hmm.
up the litter. You could have them just go out and see, even if there's the dandelions that are puffy, they could
Oh, yeah.
and blow them, or cattails. They can make the little, slingshot things that throw the cattails. But taking them, if you can take them somewhere outside the school grounds, I think the cleaning up the litter would be a great thing to do. Earth Day kind of things would be what I would do for Beltane.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very true. I would also, in prayers and meditations, Beltane feels very much to me like a time when the divine feminine and the divine masculine have a union,
Yes.
literally and figuratively. And so I would look at balancing that within ourselves, because there's this great power in wanting to nurture something, and wanting it to come to fruition.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it takes both aspects.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Beautiful. Yeah.
big plan. So, um, Lorraine Orr said, January 1st, 2023, I made the decision to buy myself a bouquet of flowers to have each month, and I still do that today. Absolutely love the white mums and daisies with lilies. Food Lion hasn't. That's beautiful.
Nice, Lorraine.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, and we are in it. We did that for Earth Day, cleaned the playground.
Nice.
That's good.
Well, then just let them play on the playground for Beltane.
Well, sure, sure.
Jumping rope and playing maybe dodgeball or something fun where they have to run a little bit. All of that would just be happy and fun. They don't have to It doesn't have to be something having to do with flowers and plants. It can just be having fun.
Yes, well, or you could make ribbon things for their heads so that they
Yep.
fly around behind them, so that
Yeah.
they and the idea of the fairies and the fae, everybody's really waking up, and you can definitely tell. I don't know about you all, but here in the northern hemisphere, I can tell the daylight is, I mean, it's almost 8 o'clock. Well, it's 8 o'clock, and there's still probably a good 30 minutes of sun out there. So,
Yeah.
so I would say, have some fun.
Have fun.
Have fun. And really, because let's think about it, from here on out, it's going to get hot. It's, you're going to be too tired because you're out in the fields. Because from now to the next Sabbat, Letha, we're in the fields. There ain't going to be any time for relaxing.
Nope.
At all. So,
nope. No time.
But yeah, I mean, if you're lucky enough to do a maypole, to get away with a maypole, that's fun.
There are YouTube videos that show you how to make a portable maypole, and you can buy everything you need at a Dollar Tree.
Oh, I love that.
Because I was going to do it, and then COVID hit. We were going to do it in 2020 because that's when 2019, we had to take down the actual maypole. And so I was desperate. The person who was going to do Beltane is like, we got to have a maypole. And I'm like, well, this sounds like a you problem, not a me problem, but I will look into it. So I did, and I found lots of alternatives. So you can do it.
Yeah. So, Colleen, this has been wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I just thought of one other thing for
Please.
Barbara. So Barbara, if anybody has like a parasol, or even if you get those little bigger than the tiny little parasols you use for drinks, I think they make ones that are about a 4 or 5 inch thing. The kids could put the parasols up, and they could just wind the ribbons around and let them fly when they twist the parasol.
Oh, that's fun.
Another activity. They could do that completely indoors if they had to be indoors, but you'd have to get some ribbon, and you'd have to buy the little parasols, but one package would probably do the whole class.
Yeah. I love that. And, the cherry blossoms are in bloom, and Teacher Barbara has a big parasol from China.
Okay, so you could just have them each, tie their ribbons on there. And, if you want to research the maypole dance, and you could fix the parasol somewhere that it's steady, you could have them. The dance is pretty simple, but you just have to weave in and out. And you have to have the ribbons then, but that would be really fun. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Or if they had a flagpole, they could just, get somebody
just
tie up the ribbons close up at the flagpole. Probably want to secure that with some shipping tape so they don't pull it off. But you need enough ribbons for each kid to have one, and then just research the YouTube thing. I'll show you how to do the dance. It's really fun. It's really fun for kids.
It is. So big themes for Beltane: abundance, creativity, fertility, growth, love, lust, marriage, other world, passion, pleasure, psychic abilities, purification, sensuality, sex and sexuality, union, visions, warmth, and youth. This is when there's a lot of youthfulness going around. So
absolutely.
But so, Colleen, thank you. And the next time we are getting together is actually tomorrow evening for Caffeinated and Unfiltered.
Caffeinated and Unfiltered.
And I am Longstache. Tomorrow is doing Beltane readings. So if people want to get readings specifically around Beltane, please join us. What do you have coming up, Colleen?
Well, we do have that Caffeinated and Unfiltered, and I think we have some special guests that are joining us for tomorrow night.
We do.
Marina from Heart Centered Tarot and Jane the Seeker, and I'm very excited to have them join us and be snarky and unfiltered with us.
Yes.
And my cat's sitting on my calendar, so I don't know what else I have. I think this week I have a massage on Wednesday. But I can't even tell what month I'm looking at because my cat's here. So,
and you have
go ahead.
Polytarology on Friday.
Thank you. Yes, I know. Yeah, that's what it is. We have Polytarology on Friday, and then I have my Coven's Beltane on Saturday. Yay!
Beautiful. And the best thing really is to like and subscribe to all of our channels because we do a good job of posting stuff. So
yeah, we do. We really do.
But yeah. And so the next time we'll talk about this, it will be about Letha.
Yes.
And we'll probably figure out exactly what can we be blessed to see everyone with flower crowns for caffeinated and unfiltered. Probably not, but I don't know, maybe.
If I can figure out how to make a crown out of coffee filters, then maybe.
So
I think there's a way.
yes. So everybody, again, thank you so very much for watching, and have a delightful evening, and a amazing Beltane.
Yes.
Bye.
Beautiful.